Salutations, my fellow Wario-rites! You come just in time to see me gloat over my perfect run of Wario Land 2!
I know that.
And stealing somebody else's treasure. Yeah, we'll go with that too.
You and you alone got this perfect ending, James?
No,
I mean, let's be fair here. If it was him and him alone, it would have gone to this point much quicker.
Our blood, sweat, and tears is sweat. Got us here.
Nothing, Steve. If I was playing this game, this would have been in like 3 parts.
So I'll say this real quick, right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen. So for the sake of this here final part of Wario Land 2, Iki will not be joining us for this because, one, he's going through a bit of an ear infection at the moment, and I don't want to really pressure him to join us just for this occasion. And secondly...
And don't replace him, too.
Yeah, and secondly, he, I did tally up all the times he did all the, puzzle, the
number thing, yeah.
And he got more right than he did wrong. So I'm going to consider this his reward, to literally take a break from our shenanigans and just let him sleep on it. Especially after what happened back in the mansion.
Lord knows he needs it from all of us.
Yeah, Icky's like, what'd I win? The right to piss off.
Go home.
You get nothing, now go home.
Yes. Rest assured, he will return for future Wario endeavors, assuming he's up for it. That being said, we're here for one very special reason.
He'd probably stay here longer than I would. Sorry.
Yeah. So, right where Wario's pointing right now leads to where the syrup keeps her most famed treasure.
In the most obvious spot you could have found it at.
She built another tower castle?
Well, yeah, you know what, yeah. Exactly, she built another castle right next to her old one. You know, kind of like the Krusty Krab.
Yeah.
So it's basically Kitchen Island 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Wario's going in there like...
Oh, wait a minute, never mind. That's just the same castle we already barged through. We're actually going right next door to that mountain over there.
The secret. The Captain Syrup's Castle 2. Which is...
Money! Oh.
And apparently, it's a sentient being, kind of like the Cave of Wonders.
I was going to say that.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Know what?
Like, I just couldn't think of the name for it since it's been a while since I've seen
The
Aladdin.
really final chapter.
The really final chapter. Do you understand? This is the
reason why...
Sorry.
No, I was saying, so the reason why it's called Time Attack is because we no longer have a coin count. Oh, jeez, that poor monkey. It's the reason why we call that is that it's like there's no longer really a money count we're worried about. It's just how fast can you beat this level. All right, so it's not here.
So, do you get a particular reward if you beat it in a quick enough time?
Not really. It's really just...
It's just for funsies.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're really just here to, again, this is just the final stretch to really showcase how much you've learned as a Wario Land player, and if you can actually make it through once more.
Also, it's an exercise in your patience to put up with the developers' Metroid antics in terms of what is and is not available to... What the hell?
I was about to say, like,
Where is it?
This feels really tricky for the first room of the area.
There.
Oh, wait, I got something.
A single block. Oh my gosh. Okay, so welcome everyone.
It's a good thing you knew about it before I was going to tell you to just try the middle part.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
I mean, you say I knew. I was pretty much just butt slamming it in relying on pure faith.
Yeah, there.
I was gonna tell you to go over to the middle part.
I'm saying that. Oh, geez,
But
that
it's
was
good
a
you
trap.
caught on.
That was a triple. Oh, that was a trap all along. So, James, have you ever made it to this level before?
I have actually. I weirdly as it may sound, I actually have 100% completed this game once. Like back when the game got launched on the 3DS Virtual Console.
Oh, okay.
That's actually the same case for me too, except like it wasn't around the launch date. It was just like way after the game was released, and I was around like the Wario Land phase at the time.
Gotcha.
So, drooling mouths aside,
Oh boy.
what the hell is the canonical explanation for what we're seeing? Wait, what? Is Captain Syrup
Captain
actually
Syrup-
an eldritch abomination?
Captain Syrup has like an abomination fetish, okay?
Also,
guess.
honestly, just in general,
actually, real talk. Who's to say that this is like this? You know, used to belong to Syrup. I think she just up and found this and figured, you know what? This seems like the perfect kind of gauntlet to hide my greatest treasure away from that fat man.
That could be a better. That's probably like a better explanation than what I was gonna say.
That's better than mine. Mine was gonna be that Wario would see all this going, oh no, she discovered Old America.
Oh,
It never did survive after that. It never did survive after that graphical overhaul.
It was after the Mario Wars. Oh God, the Mario Wars.
the Mario Wars.
Everyone thought that Old America, everyone thought that all Old America needed was a nice new coat of paint, and then the paint started to move.
Can I just say, just if I could get a chance to actually say it, like,
Yeah, go for it.
What exactly, like, I'm glad we're calling into attention the entire nature of this, because I'm curious, like, what exactly is everything? Like, I see mouths and occasional, like, ears, but, like, also stuff like, you see, like, the enemies frozen into the walls there, and and just, like, this bubblegum pink background with what appears to be, like, bumps on it. It's like, what is this place?
You know what? It might be a sign of all the casualties Syrup had to go through just to actually reach the end of this in the first place.
I mean, it's definitely giving me, like, Jabu Jabu Belly kind of vibes here, but let me see if I can look this up. Google, what the heck was up with Captain Syrup's cave?
I feel like that's going to get you results that you're not wanting to find out about.
Well,
Or, in worst case scenario, it's just not going to get you anywhere, and you'll just look like an asshat for, like, searching for it.
I found an old Press the Buttons article that talked about how she appeared in Shake It.
Well, I mean
that's a
good on
given.
her. I still think it's kind of crazy that this would be the very last time, like, this game right here would be the very last time Syrup would actually be in a game up until Wario Land Shaken, where she made her triumphant return in anime form.
Oh, it was so fun.
It was great, and I they should have done more with her after that. It's like,
Which they also should have just done more with, like, Wario Land in general.
oh, absolutely.
Bringing back Captain Syrup is one of those things they could do.
Honestly, it's one of those, Captain Syrup is one of those examples of, like, I don't know, it's like, I remember way back when we had Daisy appeared in the games more often, and then you also had Waluigi, who just up and appeared out of nowhere just to give Wario a partner for tennis.
Yeah, it's like
I always felt it was kind of criminal that Syrup didn't get to be a part of the whole picture, considering that, like, their whole explanation was that they did want more humanoid characters for the sports games.
Should have been perfect.
And they were originally going to make, like, Wa Peach, weren't they?
I think that was in the cards, yes, until Miyamoto thankfully said no.
Yeah. I mean, they could have at least just, like, bring back Captain Syrup for that game.
Exactly! That's what I'm saying. Like, they brought back Daisy, who, let's be real here, is pretty much on that exact same pedestal as Wario. And surprisingly gets a little bit more screen time with the Mario characters by comparison.
Yeah.
Where are we taking this dude?
All the way to the end, baby!
Oh, but he keeps
by
hitting
the
the edge
end-
of he keeps hitting the edge of the screen. Oh wait,
I feel like there's a trick here I need to exploit.
I think you might
look it
need
up.
to just let him walk through that path, and then you kind of just follow along with him.
You know what? That's a good point. I should probably do it. Ready to go, right? Thanks, Game Boy.
Thanks, Game Boy's limitations, for having him spawn at the default point.
well, yeah, at least he doesn't despawn.
Right as he leave the screen.
Agreed. Uh-oh.
Come on, you.
Alright.
Time
Now
is
just-
money, you know.
Yeah, now you
Yeah,
just
now
let
just
him
make
walk.
sure you were behind him. Yep, there you go. Now.
You'll
never know.
Please don't fall.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, good, there are steps.
I was like, boy, I thought he would have deloaded.
Can't touch it down.
Woo!
There
I
you
was
go.
like, thank goodness that was enough to go through. So yeah, no, so I mean, goes without saying, we're not going for like speed running time in here, but it's because actually, oh jeez, because
Just try to clear it fast, okay?
we're
Oh
doing
yeah, no,
our
I think
best.
that's the entire point.
I don't think we're gonna take longer than normal, especially with James, who's already aware of this place.
Did you?
Did I? I think I
what did-
killed him.
How?
Oops. I tossed him. I think when I
threw
was
him too
trying to toss
hard.
him, yeah, I think I threw him too
I
hard.
just threw him a little too hard, then he just went into space. How does that even work here?
Because basically what's happening is that only the enemies can walk on this, so now you gotta do hopping.
Yeah.
I'll admit I never understood that. How come these guys can walk on these vaguely thin platforms, and yet here I am, literally thinking, is that an indent on the wall?
It's because you're fat.
You know what I just... Thank you, Waluigi. Do you know what I just realized?
Thanks for stating the obvious, Mr. Lean and Stupid.
Hey, no problem, man.
You know what? I'm curious. James. I guess just in terms of, like... Just in terms of, like, the structure of this and a culmination of all these things, including this, which you could almost consider as, like, quote-unquote advanced tech of this game, is this the Mario series' first ever Champions Road?
No, that would be the special zone in no! Woo!
Yeah, in Mario World.
Or Super Mario Lost World in general. No, Super Mario Lost Levels.
Yeah, Lost Levels. Yeah. Technically, there was like worlds A through D, I think.
Oh, and they're just long, continuous.
Or just the entire game.
Well, I mean, when you put it that way, yeah, that's also true.
Oh, jeez, oh, jeez.
Oh, not again! Oops.
Huh?
You know, now that I think about it, I don't think I outright killed him. I think he actually landed on the thin flooring up there.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's why we couldn't get him back down.
So remember, happy little tosses.
Just happy little mistakes. But yeah, let me see if I can look up a full map of this place to see how far we're getting in this thing.
Also, shit, in retrospect, I should have just made this our momentary. It's short enough as it is.
My throat cannot handle that today. Oh no, where we're going? We're going back. Okay, so I pulled up the map. So let's see.
I want to say we're not too far from too far from the end of this place.
We shouldn't be. Come on, Mario Universe, don't fail me now.
Oh no!
God damn it, man!
Well, you know what? You technically need to be up there anyway, so yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately, we are after we get to the top of this room, we'll only be about a third of the way done, like in terms of like rooms.
Ah, well, fuck.
But the next rooms will be a lot more.
Man,
I don't think that's gonna work. Oh, he left.
He just flat out disappeared.
Okay, new thing. I'm sorry. I know it defeats the purpose of the time attack, but for the sake of Tanooki's like time and stuff, including hypes. Next time we get to this next time we get to the top of this first section, we should save state.
All right, fair.
Enjoy yourself over there, buddy.
I just can't control how far I throw things, man. It's like they're just in a two-set values.
I just want to throw things.
I mean, what can I say? I'm literally Superman, baby.
So
I'm Superman.
Did learn something.
But
so
reverse.
I did learn something. That's true.
So Bizarro.
I'm Superman with a dark past.
I did learn something potentially. There you go. Thank you.
What's up?
I was like, I learned something interesting, or at the very least, I'm assuming it's correct, going off of the.
But what?
We crushed him because it was like we ground pounded. So I was noticing something interesting here where it almost looks like whenever they load in these levels, that title card at the start of every level is actually on the map somewhere, and it like it like loads in that room briefly to show you the title card, and then takes you into the level proper.
Here.
I think we're fine, or okay.
Or like the worst case scenario, you could just accidentally go to the previous part, and you would have to do it all over again, unless you undo the save state.
This is gonna be Mario Maker flashbacks. Too many of these jumps.
Hey, Nintendo! Super Mario Maker 2 didn't work out so well. How about a Super Wario Maker instead?
I would play that.
I was about to say,
did it actually not sell well? I always keep hearing that.
I mean, it sold well. It's just that it didn't really have that big of a shelf life.
Huh?
Yeah, because it's like their one big update, which I still think that the quote unquote styles thing was always missing at least one or two more spaces.
Yeah, no, they make such a big deal about Mario 3D World being the big unique thing about it and having it on that whole tab for super special themes. But but they never added any more after that.
Yeah.
I'm honestly thinking that they may as well just not even bothered.
Yeah, and now as you see here, we gotta do. So yeah, now as you see here, our next step is we need to do very precise platforming. Woo!
No pressure.
Oh,
There's a lot of pressure, actually.
And
oh no!
Ow!
A lot of
Okay, but
pressure.
at the very least, we can start this. We can at least reset this room faster than the last one. Okay.
It's not like I ever outright killed them. I just gave them really big boo-boos.
Yes, that's exactly what has happened. And nothing else.
He gave me a boo-boo.
I pushed him down the stairs. Nothing else.
But just again, the Jabu thing of like, it's not even like these are like actual people of sorts. Like, I mean, sure they were like pelicans and birds, and nope, you definitely got a shoulder barge. But like, there's like no in-game explanation for the petrified, potentially digesting enemy mooks.
I mean, you want to know something that's actually kind of funny? Wario Land 2 and Ocarina of Time came out the exact same year.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
And Banjo-Kazooie.
Just
Add that too.
Woo,
1998 was about as pretty.
And Crash
crazy.
Bandicoot Warped. And Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, no.
In Japan.
Yeah, in Japan. But no, 1998 was about as crazy of a year as 97 was.
Yeah. It was also where I was born.
Really?
The worst
Oh.
part of 1998.
oh, shush.
Why the worst part?
Yeah, why the worst part?
For many
I was born in
reasons.
1994. And I will say, for I guess those keeping an eye on whatever time we are in, this is the last room.
Oh, thank God.
So as soon as we get to the top of this bad
By
boy,
technicality, I will have made it in just under 14 minutes.
and as everybody's getting mad at me, yes, I know. I was trying to pull an old early April's Fools on them.
Oh, so this is the last room?
Yeah, there's another room after this. Sorry.
Oops. Is this the last room?
I think so.
Yes, there is. This is the
Ow!
this is the last room.
Again,
Okay.
I'm just thinking back, like, one little rock. Let me have it!
So you do actually want to be flat because you need to get to the top of this point here. I think. Actually, no. Maybe I'm thinking something. Yeah, no. You need to get to. You need to get to the top of that so you can glide into that part right there.
Man, what were they having? Rotten Cheerios? Or Cheetos?
I want the big lump. Give me the big.
A whole lot of lumps.
Okay, so
I want some
from
slappy
here-
jacks because I'm
So-
one.
One lump coming up!
So here we
How
go.
many lumps do you want? Just one.
Alright, so there we go.
Kudos to the guy that's making that reanimated bit with Popeye, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's like I haven't seen I've only seen like the one scene progress, but just that one scene I'm loving so much, just because of how it's so bouncy, it's so expressive. I love it.
I love the one with like olive oil or whatever her name was.
Not olive oil. It's him and Bluto.
Yeah, it's one where they're at a barbecue.
I thought there was like the one where she was like, "Oh, get togethers, I love."
Jeez.
Well, I mean that might have been the scene in the cartoon they're reanimated, but in the one particular scene we're talking about, he was with Bluto.
Yeah. I think that was like the one they're currently doing right now. But yeah, I will say I actually did see them, and so far I'm loving it.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, at one point Donkey Kong could have very much been the Popeye game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We would have gotten Popeye Country.
Funnily enough, though, they were able to make a Popeye game eventually,
They did.
and it's honestly not half bad.
Yeah.
Actually, going by the progression of how Donkey Kong went as a franchise, wouldn't it make more sense to say Bluto Country?
Probably, assuming if Bluto would probably be popular enough to have that.
Assuming that, and also if they still call him Bluto, because I know for a time they actually changed his name to Brutus for whatever reason.
Huh.
Okay, so we definitely need to jump off to the side if we want to hit that. But I see your problem is that if we jump too high as we leave that platform, then we bonk ourselves.
You gotta like do it at like a certain angle, yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. As soon as there was the pressure of having to do a load state, then it was all easy. Peachy, Keeny, Dory.
Yeah.
And, make sure you break that. And, okay. Welcome
There's
to the
the
boss.
end.
Really? Just this guy?
Yep, but be careful, because if you miss...
Oh,
Is he still down here? Nope. So we gotta
Wait.
now go back up.
oh.
Yikes!
But it's easy. Just jump back up
Yikes.
here and... So, yeah. Of course, at the end of the day, it always comes down to the spearman.
Well, I mean, what else could they really put here?
Oh!
And done.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
And you grab the coin at the end.
And that right there, folks, is the end of Wario Land 2.
And time.
A classic.
Oh, at
game.
exactly 4:30 even.
Wait a minute. Where's the treasure?
Not as classic as Wario Land 4 on the Game Boy Advance.
But yeah, no, like,
Where's the gold? Where's the money? Where's the loot?
I was promised the syrup's treasure. All that was just a cheap silver dollar. Oh, wait, here we are.
Okay, switch.
Just
Open
flick
up.
the switch, and...
Alright,
What's in here?
let's go grab the booty. I mean, grab the booty.
I don't see anything.
There's a barrel, another switch.
Oh, wow, she was really paranoid. Oh, there we go. Oh, wow.
The big sack.
A bag of lube.
Wow, that bag's a lot bigger than my stinky dollars back home.
I thought we were going to go back to his character arc of like,
My gosh, a sack of coins, even bigger than Mario's.
So yeah, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the literal end of Wario Land 2. He was able to sneak past the... whatever that pit of hell was that Syrup kept her
Yeah.
treasure in, was able to overcome it against all odds, and walk home with probably the largest sack of bags he's ever held onto in... ever.
In this game.
Yep.
I shall remember it in therapy.
so, James, any last final words about Wario Land 2?
So, I think I've already brought up before that Wario Land 2 is, again, very solid. Definitely a very good step into this new direction that Wario would take for more or less every other game in his sub-series.
Yeah.
That being said, however, it is definitely the first of its kind, and it feels like it, and not to say I won't ever come back to this ever again, but probably not anytime soon, considering I do get more jollies out of the sequels. And I love how he literally puts the freaking bag on top of the owl's head.
That owl's really
I'm
struggling
surprised
now.
they haven't even, like, crashed down into the surface yet.
Wait for it. I was half expecting just to go, just immediately falls.
That would have been nice.
He has to carry a heavy load from top to bottom.
Yep.
Yes. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. Like, it was trying new things, and fortunately, we can say that with 3 onwards, it started learning from any shortcomings that the second one had, and definitely knew how to tone things down a bit. But I'd say like the level structure and the whole branching pathways feels pretty ahead of its time for a Nintendo
Oh yeah, no,
game.
like I will always give the game that. I do think when it's in terms of overall content, it's pretty packed. And assuming you, well, I mean, I'm not going to say assuming because it's very solid and like there's plenty of replay value here. It's just that I think at the end of the day, I definitely would not recommend marathoning through this whole game.
Yeah.
Like we
Obviously
did.
not.
I would say it's only worth a try if you're willing to just go through the levels.
Right.
Like, clearly, it's like with SA1 from, like, how the adventure games were made. There's the other styles were kind of just made for, like, a bonus. And there's, like, this one special story that you can get if you just unlock it all. This is basically sort of like the same case if you just actually 100%ed the game.
Right, because playing through the game at its base value, I'd say is honestly pretty satisfying in and of itself. I forgot that the giant spearman chases after Wario in Revenge.
I would say, like, it's probably good for, like, newcomers if they're kind of just, like, wanting to see what the game is like before they tackle Wario Land 3.
I would say that, yeah, in a way I would consider this the Shantae Risky's Revenge of Wario Land, where that it's a really good start, even though I do think later games would more or less touch up on what this game...
Yeah, you'll get more enjoyments from, like, 3 and 4.
Absolutely.
Definitely. And which, speaking of, we do have plans for how to tackle 3 because just like Nintendo, we too here in our commentary group have learned some things from this live commentary that we shall put to use to hopefully give you a fine-tuned playthrough of 3.
Yep.
With no errors.
Right, we've learned many things from this live playthrough. First of which, never give me a controller ever.
No, it's more like don't put you in control of a very antiquated Wario.
And,
That you have never touched before. That's the key thing. Putting you in control of a game you've never played before.
And,
You adjusted quicker than I did.
Yeah, but I will totally agree with you that your boss was bullshit.
Yeah.
Go home. Oh,
God
jeez.
damn it!
Oh shit, he breached the gates!
Oh, no. We have an intruder.
He just phased through the doors! Oh, crap!
What do we do? Wait, is that it? Is it just to be continued? Like Wario has to get out of there now because it turns
You
out.
want to know the sad thing about this ending is?
What?
While I don't think it's outright, more or less confirmed, it's more. You can make the argument that with this ending, that giant spearhead dude literally just breaks down the entire fucking castle. Because you never see it again after this game.
Yeah, no, after
Aside from Wario World, but that's pretty much its own story.
Yeah, no, after and you could how to put it, you could always assume that he bought it with the riches of anything else, but yeah, no, from this point forward, Wario had nothing but his plane to his name.
Very much so. And he also got a sweet pair of wheels later on, but that's another story as well.
We did it!
We did it. We are more or less complete.
We finally did it.
Save for maybe one thing I'll show off for a very brief stint.
God damn it!
We'll be right back, folks. This won't take long.
You better not.
Don't worry, this is incredibly brief. Something else we unlocked from 100% completion, aside from getting the time attack level, is a bonus game.
Oh.
But not just any kind of bonus game. It's a bonus game starring the Dangerous Duck.
Danger Duck.
Oh, God.
For some reason, though, you have to pay coins in order to play. But that being said, you don't have to pay too much, because this right here is literally this is pretty much a relic of Nintendo's time, because it's literally just Flagman.
Oh.
Basically. I've literally hurt my teeth right when I was trying to do the Donald Duck scream.
Careful.
Oh, you okay, man?
I'm fine. It's like, I used to be able to do it so much back then. But ever since I got, like, a fractured tooth, it's like, ugh.
So how does this work?
man.
So how does this work, James? Like,
It's Simon Says completely.
with the directional pads?
Yep, with the directional pad.
Alright, so up, right, left, down, down.
Kind of a funny coincidence that this became a thing, considering this was also around the time when the Game & Watch Gallery series was in full swing.
Yeah. Now I wonder, up, right, left, down, left. I wonder, is there any reward or incentive for playing this?
Nah, it's just for fun.
Okay.
You just get, like, people watching you play it in the screen in a moment.
Oh.
Well, depending if you get far, at least.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, this is really all it is. I mean, again, a cute little bonus, but not much of a reason I would say to, why?
Yeah. Also, what's with all the downs things on the left? Like the down, like all those on the left, those triangles.
Not sure. But that being said, that's pretty much all there is to it.
Okay.
What's your final score really is 6.
And how many do we need to pass?
6.
100.
Whack. But yeah, unfortunately, that will spell the end of Dangerous Duck's career as we move on.
But we still gotta get the treasure.
Well, we already got it. That's all there was to it. It's just that.
So why is it not completed? I'm kidding. I'm just joshing with you.
Well, I mean, it's shining. Shouldn't that count for something?
No.
I mean, yeah, we never outright see what was inside the bag. It's just more loot as far as we're concerned. But yeah, with that all said, that is it for Wario Land 2. Still kind of crazy. I actually went out of my way to up and record the whole thing for the channel, given how long it is, and considering I still think the sequel to this is better. But with that all said, we'll see you all next time for Wario Land 3. Oh wait, whoa, hold the phone! I completely forgot.
What?
Hype, Logan.
Hmm?
It's time I tallied up your score.
Oh, right, that thing.
Oh, what is it?
Alright, so, I went back through all the videos and tallied up how many times you guys won and lost and tallied up your points. Remember, whoever loses will have to do a song number of their choice with doing their Wario impression. Backup's completely optional. Now, I will say real quick, it was actually pretty damn close.
Oh boy.
Like, closer than you'd think.
Mm.
So, from the score of from 23 to 21, the big loser who will have to sing for us is... Logan!
Yay!
Congratulations, Logan! You have won this pointless game that you decided to make!
So yeah, Logan, whenever you have the time or whatever, feel free to share with us your lovely singing voice. And
Steve, how does it feel to be the biggest loser here? It hurts, doesn't it?
I'm number 2!
maybe you're the biggest loser. You won, technically.
Did I really, though?
It's a compliment, dipshit. Accept it.
With that all said and done, we'll see you all next time with Wario Land 3, and in just a few short minutes, we will grace you with the song of choice Logan has for us.
Speaking of Logan, he's been standing frozen there for a good while. Is he okay?
Oh shit, that's right, he has stage fright. Till next time, everybody.
Alright, bye-bye. Thanks for having me.
And you may find yourself living in a shotgun shack. And you may find yourself in another part of the world. And you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile. And you may find yourself in a beautiful castle with a beautiful money. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue again. After the money's gone, what? Once in a lifetime. Wait, what did you just say? The money's gone? Yeah, we don't the money. What do you mean the money's gone? I told you to put the money down. The music video costs money. I told you specifically to put the money down. You had to pay for the double cherries. You had to pay for all the lighting. Where did the money go? I'm broke.